Hi everybody, my name is Maureen and welcome to the Virtual Y. This is Pilates. It's a quick 20-minute workout, so let's get started. We're going to start with a big breath in through the nose and blowing out through the mouth, keeping the hips locked to the floor. We're going to reach up and over, stretching through the side of the body and come back over to the other side. So find a nice flow coming side to side. Keeping your hips locked to the floor. One more time. And we're going to come up and over. As you come up and over, rotate and bring your hand to your thigh. Bring your other hand over to the other thigh. Tuck the pelvis in. Bring the chin to the chest. And then sit up tall, stacking your spine up. We're going to do that to the other side. Reach up and over. Rotate. Bring your hand to the thigh, bring your other arm around to the other side. Tuck the pelvis forward, tuck the chin to the chest, and then roll up, stacking your spine. And we're going to turn to the side, keeping your hands at stable position, feet down on the floor, ankles in line with your knees, in line with your hips, and sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. And as you release, we're going to roll down, bringing navel to the spine, curve the spine down, one vertebra at a time, ending by reaching your hands past your ears and stretching through the tips of your fingers. Bring the feet in, and we're going to roll back up. Tuck your chin to the chest, pressing down through the abs, lifting up and stacking up through the spine. We're going to roll back down. So just rolling up and down, nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Getting that flow going. Tuck the chin to the chest, reaching up high. As you come to the top, come back down. On this last time coming up, we're going to stay up. Reach through the fingertips, bring the chin to the chest, and roll up nice and slow. And sit up tall, bring the arms down. We're going to bring our hands to the front of the shins, and we're going to tuck the chin to the chest, engaging through the abs. We're going to lift up, bring your toes to the floor, and we're going to start rolling in like a ball. Roll up and hold. Try to keep your feet up off the floor, toes pointed, elbows out, shoulders down. And roll back and come back up. I'm not going back very far. I want to make sure I stay away from the neck. Roll back and come back up, using the abs to come up. We're going to sit up nice and tall and then bring the feet down and roll back again. Hands are forward, nice and slow, rolling everything down and bring the hands out to the sides. We're going to bring the feet in toward the hips a little bit. Drop your knees to one side and then over to the other side. So loosening up through the hips, feeling that loosening up through the hip joint. We're going to come one more time each direction and come back to the center right here. We're going to reach hands up overhead, feet to the other side of the room. Flex the feet, reach out through the fingertips, tuck the chin to the chest, and we're going to roll all the way up nice and slow. Sit up tall and hinge forward, loosening up through the hamstrings, stretching through the lower spine. Sit up tall, and we're coming back down again. So C, curve down, one vertebrae at a time, coming down. Tailbone is neutral, stretching through the fingertips, coming back up again. Nice and tall, sit up tall, stack up at the spine, and then reach forward. Let's do that again. Roll down. Reach all the way out to one end of the room. Feet stay flexed. Tuck the chin to the chest and come up nice and tall, stacking up at the end. Stay nice and tall. Hinge forward. And then return to the top. We're going to bring the arms down and open up. Our feet are a little bit further than hip distance apart. Sit up nice and tall. Legs can be straight or they can have a little bend. Just make sure that your legs aren't locked wherever you are going to be. We're going to open up, arms coming out to the sides. Drop the shoulders down, sitting in nice, good, strong posture. We're going to rotate to one side and come back to the center, rotate to the other side. And come back to the center. Let's do that a couple more times. Rotating side, center, side. And we're going to come back to the center. Drop the shoulders down. If you need a little break, bring the arms down and then join me back up here. And we're going to rotate to one side and come forward, reaching your hand out to the outer side of this foot. One arm going one direction, one arm going the other direction. Come back up to the top, shoulders are down, and rotate toward the other side. Reaching out toward the other end of the room. Nice, smooth movements all the way through. Breathe in through the nose right here, rotate, and breathe out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time, each direction, every time coming back to this good, strong posture. It's our last one right here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to sit up tall, drop the arms down and bring them in front. You can cross the hands in front, and we're going to come forward, hinging at the spine. Keep that back flat and come back up. We're going to do that again. I'm going to have better posture through my neck, so find that spot you can look at that's down and slightly ahead, and reaching forward and coming back. All right, we're going to sit up tall, bring those feet back to the floor, and we're going to come back again. This time we're going to bring the arms straight forward, roll down. Bring your head and neck down. We're going to bring one leg to tabletop, other leg comes to tabletop, and we're going to bring one leg out. One leg stays at tabletop and switch it out. So I have my hand to the outer side and then a hand to the inner side, so just alternating. When you are ready, we're going to lift up through the chest and breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're going to go breath in, breath out. Only stretching out and bringing your leg down as low as you can while your hips stay stable on the floor, your pelvis stays stable. Watch that lower back. It's not arching up. Let's do a few more like this. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more set. And release. Let's bring the knees in toward the chest, forehead toward the knees, and bring it out. Stretch through. And we're going to do some scissors. So arms are going to come up to tabletop position. Bring one leg out, one leg up, and lift up. We have hands at one leg and then hands at the other. Only lowering your leg as low as you can while still maintaining that good, solid, stable pelvis. We're going to add a little pull. So we're going to lift up and pulse, 2, 3, switch, pulse, 2, 3. Change up that breathing. Every time you're pulsing, you're going to breathe that out, 2, 3. So lift, staying strong through the abs. Work is not in your head and neck. If you need a little help, bring one hand behind and just alternate. A couple more like this. Blow out and blow out. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Give a little hug and release. Stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms straight up behind. Flex the feet. We're going to come up into seated. Roll up. Rolling all the way up, sitting up nice and tall. Roll forward and release. We're going to come into tabletop position, so flip it over. We have hands under shoulders, nice and wide, knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart. We're going to go through a rotation with each of our limbs reaching out, so making sure that we're stable through the hips. Start with one arm out, check in with your hips, make sure they're stable, and bring that back in. Other arm is gonna come out, make sure you're stable, come back in. One leg out, hold everything stable. Hips facing the floor, come back in. Other leg reaches out and come back in. We're gonna put that together. So we're gonna have one arm, one leg, and hold. Come back in together and hold. Every time you're reaching out, you're keeping your hips stable, facing down toward the floor. Your abs are engaged as you come in. We're gonna do a few more sets, but we're gonna add into this. So we're gonna reach out, tap the toe down, lift up, and return. Reach out again, long, lean, toe tap down, lift up, and return. Again, reach out, tap down, lift up, return. Last one, reach out, tap down, and return. Reach back, come into child's pose. And we're gonna come back over onto our backs. Flip it around, feet flat on the floor. And we're gonna roll back down. We got a lot of roll in or roll backs built into this. So we're gonna roll down again. Reach out, and we're gonna do our teasers. So reach your fingertips to one end of the room, feet start planted on the floor, and you're gonna lift up into a V-sit and hold. Shoulders stay down, toes tapping on the floor, and we're gonna roll back down. You wanna add on, you can either keep your feet flat on the floor or you can add one leg up as you lift up and hold. And then come back down. If you're lifting up your leg, you're gonna add that other side. So lift up and hold. And come back down. We're gonna do a few of these, so alternating sides. One leg comes up, both arms come up, hold. Come back down. Again, up and hold. We're gonna do one more each side. Breath in. Lift up and hold. Last one. Controlled all the way through. Hold. And let's come back down. Reach both arms straight out, both legs straight out. Point the toes and then flex the feet and release. We're gonna do kind of a modification of that. I'm gonna sit up, so we're gonna do a modification of that where both legs come out, both arms come out, and then we pull them back in. So let's start by rolling down. Reach your arms straight back past your ears, feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna lift up as you bring your knees in. We're gonna stay right here, reach out, hold, and reach your knees in toward your chest, reach your arms out. So your arms are going up overhead a little bit past the ears. And if this does not feel good to you to have both legs up, you can have a foot down and alternate. That's a little harder to me, honestly. So let's keep that going again. Reaching, and come back in. One more, right here, and release. All right, we're gonna roll back down again. Stretching, getting that release. Stretch out both legs, both arms. Pull through the fingertips, stretch through the heels, and release. We are going to roll over to our sides. So flip it over to one side. And we're gonna lift up through the side of the waist. I have one hand down on the floor, elbow in line with the shoulder. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked. One leg comes out, and we're gonna flex the foot and just lift up and down. So what we're looking for is this lift through the side of the body as you're lifting and lowering the leg. We got 4, 3, 2, And last one. We're gonna point the toes, externally rotate and lift as your toes are pointed, flex as you come down. Lift up and come back down. I like to have my hand on the hip. You can have your hand in front for a little more support, but you're pointing the toes as you come up and flexing the foot and bringing the heel down. Let's do one more like that. And now we're gonna reverse it. So you're gonna lift up with a flexed foot and draw your toe back down. Lift up and come back down. Couple more. Heel flexed up, toe pointed down, and release. We're gonna keep that toe pointed. We're gonna straighten out one leg. It's a little bit in front of you, and one hand for a kickstand, and you're gonna bring your toes forward, up and around, and come back. Up and forward, lifting up, keeping that pressure out of the shoulders by lifting up through the side of the body. Couple more. And last one. And release. We're gonna flip that over, coming over to the other side. So lifting up through the side of the body, hand flat on the floor, in line with that elbow. Elbow is in line with the shoulder. Stacked knees, stacked hips. This foot is flexed and you're gonna lift and lower, working through the hips, working through the side of the body. Couple more like this. Last one. Bring it down and we're gonna point the toes and come up pointed and return down with a flexed foot. Again, you can have your hand on your hip or your hand in front of you. Up point and lower down flex. Up point, lower down flex. Let's do a few more of these. And then we're gonna switch it out. So now you're gonna hold that flex, lift up and flex, return pointed toes. Lift up and flex, return pointed toes. Continuing to remember to lift up, I have to remind myself too. Coming up with that flexed foot and return coming down. Last one. Return, hold that foot out, hold that pointed foot. Other leg comes out and you're gonna tap the toe in front and come behind. So we're working through that hip joint, working through the glutes. Couple more like this. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Staying strong, stable through the hips, through the abs. And last one, release. All right, we're gonna come back into tabletop position. So flip it back over into tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees in line with the hips, and we're gonna roll up. Tuck your chin to your chest, pelvis coming in, come to flat back, come to arched back, and look up. Come back to tabletop. Tuck the pelvis in, bring the chin to the chest, rounding the back. Come back to flat back, and arch back, and look up one more time, rounding the back, tucking the pelvis in, chin to the chest, back to flat back, and then all the way through into arch and looking up and release. We're gonna come back to seated position, legs crossed in front, hips planted, square down on the floor. We're gonna rotate to one side, so moving the spine. If you can, turn around, look behind you. Come back to the center, turn the other direction. If you can, turn and look behind you, just keeping that shoulder over here, down. Come back to the center. We're gonna reach forward, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, reaching forward, stretching through the hips that we worked out right here, and then come back up, stack up through the spine. Switch your cross, so cross in the other direction. We're gonna do this same thing the other side, to turn one direction and the other direction. Come back to the center, stacking up tall, take a breath in through the nose and breathe out and come forward. Lengthening through the spine, releasing the hips, and then coming back into the center. We're gonna turn our head one direction, drop the chin down, Roll the chin in front and come back up to the center. Turn the other way, drop the chin down, roll down to the center, and come up. And this has been a quick Pilates workout. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again next time.